Warning. The following program contains material which may not be suitable for young children or sensitive viewers. Sorry.
On the ROX. I'm Jay, and I'll be your bartender.
And I'm B, your editor for this evening.
Now, this show is a show which glorifies the responsible use of alcohol while teaching you to make a variety of mixed drinks and learning a little bit about this town that we live in, Bloomington, Indiana.
Nestled here in the rolling hills of southern Indiana. And this week we're discussing a very serious problem.
Our drinking problem.
Our drinking problem. And but it's not what you think.
Yes, as a matter of fact, despite the fact that I just took a nice hearty swig of this tequila.
A hefty pull. Boy, and I can smell it on your breath.
Despite that, we have an addiction, both of us.
Yeah, and but it's not what you think.
We're both addicted to the bean. We're slaves to the bean.
We're funky young slaves to the bean. And in order to get this show started off right, we're going to bow down before the one we serve.
Okay, so we're going to make our first pot of coffee. First one for the evening. You start with your coffee pot, actually, which you want to fill with some water. Now, if you have someone peeling shrimp in your sink, make sure not to get the drippings off the unpeeled shrimp, or the peeled shrimp for that matter, into your coffee pot.
Don't get too close to my fantasy.
Grind your coffee now. This is the fascinating part.
Grind it long and hard. About how long should you grind that, Jay?
Grind it for about 10 seconds, or until it kind of makes a kind of high-pitched squealing sound, like it's had enough. Now you want to put it into into the coffee filter, which you should have already placed into your coffee filter basket, as they're known in the coffee maker biz, which I was actually an employee in the thriving industry of coffee several years ago. That was the first time I was a slave to the bean, actually.
Since then,
and I thought I'd gotten over it, but you can see what has happened.
Something smells mighty good. My bowels are going to move, I think.
Yeah. So you want to turn your coffee pot on make sure that you turn your coffee maker on with the coffee pot on the heating element.
We'll pull up a chair for you to stand on even, and you can really get a look at the top of it. Because look at that. Isn't that nice and just obviously a well-kept mechanism?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's art. Yeah, I painted that on there with some really subtle brown paints. So we're going to pour ourselves a cup of this coffee. We actually made it through the time that we had to linger as the coffee brewed, and we hope that you made it with us as well. But now we're going to have our coffee, so we'll be stimulated finally. Now, I'm pouring this myself because I am, after all, your bartender, Jay. But actually, I have a problem with drinking really hot beverages, so I'm going to hand this cup o' Java over to my compatriot at arms, B, and he's going to drink some.
Good coffee.
I hope you appreciate our high-class special effects that we put together for you, our home viewer.
Don't be afraid to clutch the hand of your creator.
So I'm going to put some ice into mine because I am, after all, the proverbial wimp. And I'm going to make mine in a glass because actually I don't have another mug. And so, yes. So here we have an iced coffee.
Watch the mental effect that this has on him. Feel better?
Yeah. Wow. You want some?
No thanks.
Yeah.
I feel moistness.
You feel moist today.
I feel very moist quite often.
What do you do on the days when you feel moist?
Dry off somehow.
So what are you doing here?
He's dancing.
Dance for me, baby. Oh, what did I just step on? Oh my God, I just cracked the ribs.
Stay calm, little dreamer, and drift off into dreams. The gentle kiss of night is better than it seems. It's just around the corner. Close your eyes and soon you'll be with me. Don't get too close to my fantasy. Don't be afraid to clutch the hand of your creator. Stare into the lion's eyes, and if you taste the candy, you'll get to the surprise.
Are you gonna perform for us?
Ready? Oh, can I just, Joe,
Jay.
can I just tell you the memory I had?
What's that?
I've had video fun before, and I know how to create things. I just had ideas. We did this great effect and stuff.
Video fun,
and he knows how to create things.
Watch this. Just
put the camera on
him. He's had video fun, and he knows how to create things. He's had video fun, and he knows.
That's right. Toast is down with the video fun.
He's had video fun. He's had video fun. He's had video fun. My friend, tell you what he does.
He's video fun, and he knows how. He's video fun, and he knows how to create things.
I'm a jelly skeleton. I don't know shit. I gotta get out of this rain, man. It's getting my camera wet.
Yeah.
So now, wasn't that one of the most amazing things you ever saw in your entire life? Can you believe what you just saw on television? Two men whom you don't even know playing with guns in very interesting ways. You saw it here on J&B on the ROX, a show which glorifies the responsible use of alcohol by teaching you to make a variety of mixed drinks. And to show you yet another one of those mixed drinks is Jay, in fact me. So we're going to have another coffee drink. This is going to be a pretty simple drink. This is an amaretto coffee. Now, there are 1,010,000 different ways to do this. My favorite way is to just pour some amaretto into the bottom of a mug, say about 1.5 ounces, or if you're like me and you really want to expand your mind, add another 1/2 ounce to make it 2 ounces. Then you'll want to pour in some of your favorite coffee. This is Copenhagen blend, as we said the other day.
Copenhagen blend from the Daily Grind in Bloomington, Indiana, which is a coffee store with a rather clever name, although just because it's a clever name doesn't mean that they get our endorsement. No one gets our endorsement because we are funky, young, independent kings of the non-commercial realm. Yes. So I need.
Sometimes the funky young kings need a little help.
Yeah, like right now. I need a little help in the form of my favorite ice cubes. 1, 2, 3. There you see it. This is because if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that I have difficulty with hot drinks, and that I would much rather drink a cold drink than a hot drink. And so
you have a drinking problem.
I have a second drinking problem. I have a duality of drinking problems.
A plurality.
Duplicity, as it were.
There you go.
Oh, wow. Now this is fantastic. Indeed, I would pronounce this as distinctly potable.
Do that thing with the videotape. Do that thing with the videotape. Do that thing with the videotape. Video. Do that thing with the videotape.
Brother, I tell you.
You do that thing with the videotape, and you'll go to Jesus.
Go to Jesus with the videotape.
Go to Jesus with the videotape. He'll say, "Hey, you, good job."
Now you may be wondering why Jay is here alone with 3 other people. None of whom, 2 other people actually. Third is me. Why I would be here alone with these other guys, and no B in sight. No B around. Now you may be thinking, maybe he's in the bathroom, or maybe he's had too much to drink already today, which is always a viable option, I guess. But in fact, I will tell you, I will help you discern the reality at stake here. And that is that this episode is kind of more or less just about the fact that we never got around to filming an episode this week. And so what you'll see here is just a lot of footage that was just kind of behind the scenes because it just never really came together. So that's what this episode's about. So with that in mind, actually, watch this.
Too close to my fantasy.
So that's what it's about. It's about nothing. This show, J&B on the Rocks, is taking you into new territory on your television box set. That territory is the realm of utter stupidity and inanity, and just personal testimony about what our lives are. And well, wait a minute.
Hey Jay.
Yes.
Would it happen to be about this garlic?
Sure.
It could be.
It could be.
Really?
We've already done an episode about the defrosting of our freezer.
Wow.
So, when you stoop to those levels, you just can't stoop much lower anyway.
Could it be about this?
Well, it actually is more or less, because this is Scotch whiskey. This is Johnny Walker Red Label. Now, we don't want to endorse any particular brand of Scotch, although actually, we probably would want to kind of put our hands together in celebration of J&B Scotch, which of course is our namesake. But, we've put our hands together to celebrate our namesake. So, yes, this is a show which glorifies the responsible use of alcohol by teaching you, the home viewer, to make a variety of mixed drinks. And with that in mind, we'll see who's coming up our stairs right now. Probably for a drink.
Hi.
Oh. Could you use a drink?
Hey, B.
I could use a drink like...
B has arrived.
So now at least this episode has gained its other host, B, of J and B on the Rocks.
I actually am wearing a tribute outfit.
A
to
tribute
Joe Nickel.
to Joe Nickel. Who's that?
Sorry.
Hey,
Whoops.
you gave away my secret identity. But hey,
Okay,
that's all right.
a tribute to Jay.
Yeah.
This is my grandma made me this outfit. It's got CP. You know, I have a show, Christy Paxton Show.
Yeah.
There's CP.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's my own logo.
Get a close up on that, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I've got it over here.
All right. A CP on the old sleeve.
Wait.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, I would've
Freaky,
straight on.
styly.
Achingly hip.
Yeah.
Achingly hip.
Now, you'll also note that it's not only CP for the Christy Paxton Show, but it's also PC.
Which, of
So-
course, you are.
Yes, I
PC.
am PC, and all night I'll be, moderating your television program.
You are a funky young monitor of television
That's right, and
programming.
anytime something happens that's not PC,
Yeah.
I'll be jumping right in.
Okay, so you're kind of the PC lady. And
That's
actually,
right, so you better
know,
be careful.
Actually, she's brought up a good point here. Now, you'll notice that a lot of times for this show, I dress up, okay? But you'll notice that I'm just wearing this awful blue T-shirt that probably is showing up in a variety of different colors depending on how much light there is. And so you may be wondering why I'm not dressed up. Well, that's because this, as we said before, is the episode about nothing. It's just, we couldn't think of anything to make this episode about, and so we decided to just show you, what we taped because we couldn't think of anything.
This is actually the reason that Joe isn't dressed up here. Jay, our old bartender here, is because the show hasn't actually even begun yet. And what you've seen so far has only been an introduction, a prelude, if you will,
To things to come.
yes. And on that note,
On that note, I was trying to get a burp out, but I couldn't.
he's going to change his clothes.
Yes.
So anyway, the reason that we had that little introduction segment where I talked about how our show, this episode is about nothing, is because I couldn't remember what this episode was about. We had actually decided, we had talked about it at great length before, this slaves to the bean thing, but I couldn't remember because I hadn't had my daily dose of coffee. So,
Starting to rain.
I think it's time for another dose of coffee. Caffeine.
Okay, so the next drink that we're going to make is going to be an Irish coffee. Now, for this, you're going to want to add some sugar to your mug. I'm going to make this one in B's mug, in his little, unicorn mug. Just put like a heaping teaspoon of sugar into your mug. Then you want to add some Irish whiskey. We're using Bushmills Irish whiskey. It's a blend, product of Ireland. You'll see this little funky building here with this strange hat on it.
No, that's not a hat, that's a bong.
Oh, it's a bong, you're right. Oh my God. They must make this stuff with marijuana. Well, should we drink it then? Or will we be breaking the law?
Well, this is simulated.
Oh, that's right. This is simulated marijuana alcohol. Okay, so add about 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces, your favorite flavor. Irish whiskey to the mug. And then you want to top it off with like 3 or 4 ounces of coffee.
Oh, that was really neat.
Wow, isn't that great?
And put about a half an ounce on the table.
Here, actually, that reminds me. Design. That's what we're talking about here. These people,
Flaw.
Braun, one of the big name brands that you recognize, right? Yeah, right. Big fuckers. Look at this. They made this damn coffee pot. That's what it is. It's a pot, not to be confused with pot, which is an illegal substance. They made this coffee pot with this fucked up lip on it, so that you can't really pour correctly. Because, as soon as you start pouring, it starts dripping down the side. Oh, I just burned myself. That's really all I have to tell you, but it's my complaint for this week. So, since I made this in B's mug, I'm going to let B have the first taste.
Wow, thanks.
So, and as a matter of fact, I will even leave the pronouncement of this drink to him.
Yeah, I would pronounce that as distinctly good.
so, Pete, what on earth is all of this? This is from, it just gives a return address, no return name. But this person spent some serious money. Spent like 90 cents, 87 cents to send this.
That is serious.
Let's see here. Pork barrel politics, environment, education, farms, rural communities. Why is the proposed Indianapolis to Evansville highway a misuse of taxpayers' money? Somebody just sent us a bunch of information. The true colors of Benetton. Copy free. Please copy and post. Wow, what is this? Ad Busters. Big Noise magazine inside. New Time Religion. And look, he even put a note on here. Hi, J&B. I just read your article in Bloomington Voice. It's ace. Never seen the show. Bit of a reactionary on the technology thing. Killed my TV long ago. I thought you might like to check out this Ad Busters magazine. Perhaps you've seen it. Thought maybe there might be a way for some of the demarketing ads to find their way onto BCAT. Let me know if I can be of any help. Please show the magazine to Eric, Indiana as well. All hail Discordia. Tom Flynn, one of the more lifers. By the way, if that stunt at the mall ever looks like it might... Oh, we better not talk about that stunt at the mall on public television. Ooh, somebody farted. Or wait, I think it's this garbage back here. We're going over to the Bellevue Gallery, which is a small kind of cooperative gallery here in Bloomington, Indiana. Going in there to drop off this videotape to an artist who is having an opening there tonight. Now, this particular artist is Jim Poyser, who makes toys, and he's also a writer, and he's going to review our TV show for some kind of publication. And you may be wondering, so why are you giving him the tape, Joe? Isn't that a little ego inflating? Well, the fact is that I consider myself a funky young monarch of self-promotion. I'm afraid that they're getting over. Okay, so here we have obviously something to play with if you're like really involved in your thinking and kind of the way that thoughts just develop out of themselves, because here's a kind of a thought of a baby up here and a small fetus type character up here. So I would, if I were a kid, I'd play with it. Okay, so basically what you have here is Santa's head, which is down here at the bottom by his feet, really. Okay, and it appears that he's the switch for the speed also, and then Santa's body, the big belly here, and he's holding this scepter of sorts, symbolizing all that is good and hopeful in the world. And then he's got the baby Jesus on top of his head. Well, he doesn't really have a head. It's kind of like the headless Santa. So basically what you have here is like an overinflated Barbie doll type character who is sunken into this mold, if you will, and then of course Jaws sticking his body through her head and coming out with her brain, which is actually one of the little pigs. So obviously you have kind of a sexist approach to women's lib. I had one of these when I was a child as well, and I used to play with it every day. It was my favorite toy. What you do is you fill this up with apple juice here, and then you put the cross in there and mix it around, and it becomes urine, and then you drink it. It's really fun. I did it every day of my entire life until I was older. Okay, now here you have the classic woman in oil well with bone and clock workings. That's the theme here. If you see, there's also a Tarzan figure here just to add some comic appeal. Yellow or actually more like a caveman type character. And then the birds up here with babies in their beaks, and then all the other stuff kind of mixed in with that. Now see, if you press this button, I'm not going to do it because I know better, but if you press this button, it makes this alarm go off in here, which in turn causes these birds to freak out. And see, they're keeping this thing in balance here, and when they fly off, this thing starts rocking back and forth and pumping the bone into the hole, into the oily well. Young oil well pumping bones. What you have here is basically like this G.I. Joe
character with a doll's head, you know, symbolizing the contrast between man and child, infant, if you will. And they're sitting on top of this skull, which of course symbolizes mortality. So, you know, man, child, you know, and it's asking the question, what do you do? What do you do when you're confronted with your own mortality? Well, obviously, you play the guitar, which is what he has chosen to do. And so, this is a celebration of making the right choices. Oh my God, Dan Quayle moves. He lives.
Plus, he's making them, right? No, he has a bake them.
Wow.
He does now?
Now, I have to say that I've never seen anything like that before. Now, see, only a child would know that you can actually wind this thing up and make it spin around like that. You know, because these are toys for children. This is the artist in residence here, or whatever you might want to call him, Jim. And he's going to tell us a little bit about what he was thinking of when he made this.
But this is a rather self-obvious piece. It's called Reagan's Brain. And indeed, if you pull the string, it shows you the contents of his brain. And
Get a good close-up on that, actually.
the song, of course, is a lullaby. And I don't know about you, but I find myself lulled.
I haven't had so much fun since I don't know when. I guess since I was a child, which makes sense because we're at a toy exhibit here in Bloomington, Indiana. Poi Toys by Jim Poyser. And now, actually, we're going to move away from this segment and show you something else. So watch this.
Don't get too close to my fantasy. Don't be afraid to clutch the hand of your creator. Stare into the lion's eyes, and if you taste the candy, you'll get to the surprise. Oh, don't get too close to my fantasy.
In fact, we are funky young kings of the information age, and we would like your information. Please send it to us at the address on your screen, P.O. Box 3241,
Bloomington, Indiana. Yes. 47402.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. J&B on the Rocks from Kumquat. No return address on this one. They must not want to copy the Smiling Dog, our newsletter, which you can get if you write to us. J&B. My viewership began one evening in December. Relaxing with a nice bowl of the good stuff, I began flipping through the channels. I came upon two guys expounding on the virtue of intoxication and some pretty good cold weather tips. Needless to say, I've faithfully, with some exceptions, become a fan. You have become a figurehead for the discombobulated, strung-out, fed-up, intoxicated college student. I just finished up observing your last episode on fame. I would say that you handled yourselves in the press with honesty and a good sense of radical or abnormality. The Constitution was created for chaps like you. Like Jefferson said, quote, "A little blood is good for the country," end quote. Maybe a misquote, but you get it just right anyway. Never let the small, closed-minded folks shut you down. You may be getting into a national battle royal against censorship. Good luck, boys. One question. When is Pots, Pans, and Pot on? One request, keep it up. Gratefully, Kumquat Crawfill. Well, Kumquat, actually, I don't know right this moment when Pots, Pans, and Pot is on, but actually, Editor B will demonstrate his skills by putting that time on the screen right now. Okay.
Actually, you can call and request it.
You can call and request it as well.
I'm peeling some shrimp right now.
And
I was supposed to come over here a little earlier, and I fell asleep. And I just want to give some advice, really. This shrimp, actually, I was trying to save money. So I bought the enchanted shrimp. That was a mistake.
the enchanted shrimp?
Now they are coming to life. These look kind of frozen. Maybe you can't tell on the camera, but look, this one actually spoke to me a moment ago.
Wow. What did it say to you?
It said something like, "I am of the living peeled."
Wow.
Oh, actually, he's unpeeled. I'm wrong about that.
Yeah.
So he's pretty sinister. I think if I just pull his shell off, maybe I'll do that right now. maybe that would sort of contain his magical powers, and our dinner
Yeah.
will end up being okay after all. There, see?
Wow.
Rendered
Is he
harmless.
saying? Can you hear him saying anything?
Let me see. No, he's dead. He's.
So are you gonna eat it? Or wait, no, don't do that. Hey, look.
Howdy.
2 minutes.
Hey, look. Howdy.
Oh my God.
Stare into the lion's eyes, and if you taste the candy, you'll get to the surprise. Oh, don't get too close to my fantasy.
Now we are going to introduce to you, the home viewer, a film, actually, right? B?
Yes. Here it is, a film that we're introducing. It's a film by a friend of ours. Her name is MF, and this is My Dinner of Andre.
My Dinner of Andre. Watch this now.
So anyway, you were going to say something about the microphone on this thing?
Oh yeah, the interesting thing about this camera, now this is a new camera from that we've just checked out from Bloomington Community Access Television, and I'm going to reach around the side here and adjust the interesting little control. The microphone right now is set on wide, but it actually has 3 settings. Now it's on tele. Can you hear a difference?
Yeah, I can.
Can you hear a difference? And listen, that's zoom.
Wow.
So that's the 3 different settings that has.
So like if I zoom in, the sound should also zoom in, right?
I don't know.
So here, talk.
You think?
Talk.
Hello, I'm talking to you because we're testing this new camera that we've gotten from Bloomington Community Access Television, and I don't think that it works that way at all, but maybe it does. I don't know. Actually, Jay here, who's operating the camera right now, is in an interesting situation because this camera has a little microphone right on the side of it, right in his ear.
Yeah,
so that
I
he
can
hear
actually
what's going
hear
on.
the difference.
In fact, why don't you show them that microphone?
Okay, well, yeah,
it's not a
over-
microphone.
it's
What
on
am I
this
saying?
side.
It's a speaker. It's a speaker.
Yeah, this side.
Yeah, so show them that. Don't just tell them about it. Show
well,
them.
it's over here. Wait.
But you're turning around with the camera.
Oh yeah, I've got to turn
the camera around.
Wait a minute.
So you want to focus the lens around to the side of the camera. It's over on this side, right here.
Okay.
Okay. So turn the lens around. You've got to focus the lens on the side of the camera.
damn it, I can't figure it out at all.
Let's go get some coffee.
Yeah, we need to get coffee, and why is that, B?
Because we are we have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about that. We are slaves to the bean.
I'm going to make this last drink here, but actually I'm going to finish my first one. My second one, third one. God.
And they say he has a drinking problem.
Night. Drinking problem? Me? Special guest, Dave. And Hillary. Although I won't pat her on the chest because we're not really that close. So this next drink we're going to be making is going to be called a coffee grog. Now, I know that sounds like just an awful name for a drink. But in fact, this is going to be an interesting drink because, as you'll see, it's the first drink of its kind that we have made on this TV program. And I'll show you the little, what the of its kind refers to in a moment. But first, you want to add some, about half a teaspoon of butter to your mug. I've got the butter sliced and placed on top of the stick of butter in this kind of little butter tableau here. So you put one of them in each mug if you're making two, or if you're alone, if you're kind of like most of the people in Bloomington who actually don't have any friends and who just sit at home and watch this, then you're probably only making one. But hey, I support you in that. So anyway, add some brown sugar. I'd say maybe a teaspoon or so of brown sugar to each one. Give or take a little, okay. Then you were looking at that bottle of rum before, and you may have been wondering why it was in the jar. Actually, it's in a jar of warm water, hot water even, to warm it up. Now, why would you warm it up? You might think. Well, as any good bartender knows, if it's not warm, you can't light it. So we'll just pour a little rum there in this mug. And we'll pour a little in this one. Say 2 ounces in each mug. Get your lighter out of your pocket. And then figure out some way to light it, as I have done. Turn off the light. Could you? Oops, it went out. Hang on. Okay, here we'll do it again. Okay, now.
Beautiful.
Now you may be thinking at this point, oh my God, how are they ever going to get that to go out? Well, actually, you just pour in some coffee and voila. It kind of, hopefully, goes out.
There it's at.
So there you have it.
It's called a what?
Oh, and you put nutmeg on top. I forgot
Dash
about
of
that.
nutmeg.
Yeah. A coffee grog. You always probably were wondering what a grog was. Well, now, here, you've seen it here first on J&B on the Rocks, a show which glorifies the responsible use of fire. Oh my God, and I think it was still on fire.
Check this out. This camera has some new neat effects, like this, for example.
Wow.
Tracer, they call it. Some of you in the viewing audience, this may be reminiscent for you of certain experiences that you've had in the past.
This is how I feel when I haven't had coffee in the morning, and what am I if not a funky young slave to the bean?
This is how I feel after I've had several cups.
Yeah.
Well,
okay,
coffee.
well, show us some of these other effects.
Oh, fuck. Oh, yes, let me take it off of Tracer now, and I'll put it on Gain Up.
Wow.
I ain't got no time for psychological romance. Gain Up.
Okay, so is there any other kind of effects here?
Yeah, check this out. Gain up, but more up than what you saw before. So that's another little effect that this camera has. We've also got this. What's that? What are you seeing now?
Hey, wait. Hey, are you okay, man? Are
Oh,
you
why?
okay?
Why?
You're not moving.
Oh, that must be the still effect. What about that?
Oh, yes, there you go. Wow, you're kind of jerky now. This is kind of like the 70s.
Huh? Yeah, the 70s were kind of jerky. Here in Bloomington, Indiana, Jay?
Uh-huh, huh?
Where would you recommend that funky young man with a video camera go to get himself a cup of coffee.
Well, you know, the Daily Grind, I don't want to endorse any kind of store, but the Daily Grind did win Best Coffee in the same survey that named us best local TV show.
The Daily Grind.
The Daily Grind. Isn't that a clever name for
a coffee place?
So here we are at our favorite drug supplier, the Daily Grind. We're going to fix our little get ourselves a little fix of the bean.
Yeah. It's part of our drinking problem.
Yeah, drinking problem, which we have.
Coffee. Of course, not alcohol.
Yeah. I bet they love this.
So what is your bean of choice?
My bean of choice is actually Copenhagen blend. Now, I don't want to endorse any particular type of coffee, okay? But I personally like Copenhagen blend. I guess that is an endorsement, isn't it?
No, we don't want to.
Damn.
No.
Yes, we are addicted. Slaves to the bean. Now, this is my favorite coffee mug. I mean, you know, just like heroin addicts have their favorite syringe, this is my favorite coffee mug. Now, this is a mug that I bought at an arts and crafts fair in Berea, Kentucky. And the thing that I like about it is that it's really hard to tell what this image is on it. And actually, the only time I ever can tell what it is after I've had some coffee.
Can you get a good picture of that there? That is my favorite mug.
Mm-hmm.
It's a unicorn, and it's really not so much the unicorn that I like the most as, it's got this special code on the bottom.
Oh, wow.
See that?
Yeah, actually, I think
V15, V16A, V9A,
Hey,
V119.
wait a minute.
And this, see, because my mug has these numbers on the bottom, that means it's better than any other mug.
Wow. But wait, mine has those same numbers on it.
Oh, man, you ripped it off, so that's what you were doing last night with that blue Crayola.
Stare into the lion's eyes, and if you taste the candy, you'll get to the surprise.
So, that marks the end of this segment of J&B on the Rocks.
Yet another episode number 29. This has been.
Yes.
Our drinking problem.
Our drinking problem. And,
not alcohol, but
not
coffee.
Coffee, the bean, as it were. So, if you would like to write to us about our drinking problem or anything else,
Or your drinking problem,
your drinking problem or someone else's drinking problem, just any little funny story that you might have,
Post Office Box 3241,
Bloomington, Indiana,
47402.
There. Okay, so on that note,
we're going to point to the camera just a few more times, and then
we'll leave.
We're going to go. Bye-bye. See you later. Tune in next week.
Tuesday nights at 11 if you're in Bloomington, Indiana, watching B-Cat.
Don't get too close to my fantasy. Don't be afraid to clutch the hand of your creator. Stare into the lion's eyes, and if you taste the candy, you'll get to the surprise.
Rawhide! Through windstormy weather, helmets for leather, wishing my girl was by my side. And I'm contemplating that she will be waiting for me at the end of my ride. Move 'em up! Shout! Something out. Damn! I always miss that my cue.
And on that note, we'd like to have another drink.
Weasel, actually, is what it said. Weasel. We shouldn't put that person's address on the screen, though, because we don't want to disclose his
Anonymity.
Yeah. J&B, March 3rd, 1993. I've seen your show a few times and was wondering if you have any T-shirts for sale advertising it. And if so, how and where can I get one? Just your average big fan of beer, Paul Weasel. Well, actually, we are in the process of having those made for us right now. And one place that you can get them is at Culture Shock. We're going to try to set up a little booth or some kind of situation over at Culture Shock where you can get J&B paraphernalia. We're not trying to sell it to you over the TV because, of course, that would be illegal. In fact, you know, we might not even be selling it. We may just be giving it away, or we may be selling it or something. I'm trying to dig myself out of this hole that I may have dug myself into. But Culture Shock, catch us there for that, Paul. Thanks. So, that was all our mail. How many did we get this week?
1, 2, 3, 4.